This is our discussion on Dragon Ball Daima episode 3. Uh I'm really torn about this show so far. Like the first episode was a pretty much a recap of the Buu saga with like nothing really happening and then the second episode was like a bunch of running around and everyone's a kid now and nothing really happened. And then now episode 3, a bunch of running around happened. Nothing really happened. And it's like uh I don't know, man. Like the thing is, I don't know if I like this show because it reminds me of OG Dragon Ball where like the pacing of it's like the pacing is that of a turtle. Um but at the same time like I'm not entertained by it. Like I actually
Mm.
think Goku is very cute in this show.
He's so cute. I am also really enjoying Goku.
Yeah, like I think that he's really cute. I think that it's like so many people are like dogging him for like making fart jokes or like making like do like that's just
I was gonna
Goku,
say,
man.
like, I
Like
don't see the difference. It's still
yeah,
Goku.
like that's just kind of Goku, man. That's just kind of how he's been, and it's like as a fan of Dragon Ball since I was a fucking kid. I say this in every episode. It's like was Goku more serious in Dragon Ball Z? Like, yeah, that shit was made in the fucking 90s where like they were able to try that kind of stuff and it was like fine. And it's not that I didn't like it, but there was tons of like dude, Goku and Piccolo went to go get their driver's license and Piccolo dressed up like the fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it's funny. It's supposed to be funny. Like it's a comedy action kind of thing, you know? And the fact that like Toriyama was going back to his roots on this, like I think it's cute and I think that it's funny. Like I'm not gonna make fart jokes like that. Like I don't think that they were insanely funny, but it was just like
I'm not Goku.
like but the thing is neither are you or neither is the people making you don't need to make fart jokes. Is the crazy thing about life. Um
You have free will.
you can do whatever you want to do. The thing is, that's Goku. Like, and there's a giant goldfish where like they pop out of his butt, and, it's like, you know, the best part about going to the third demon world is that they can have hamburgers in seconds. And they, instead of having demon alien food, they're like, here's some hamburgers.
Yeah, that actually was like that like broke the immersion for me actually.
Yeah,
I
I was
was
like,
like, why
why?
are we eating hamburgers? But then like, why do they look weird?
Why were they like pretty patties? They're like
Yeah,
different
like
colored
why did
like
these look
hamburger.
no, like they looked like a weird like cross between pretty patties and like the nasty patty because like it looked like
Yeah,
the meat and like shit was like gooping out the sides and stuff. Like I don't know. If
happening.
you're on like if you're in the demon realm, like show me some demon food.
No, for real. They made right when they entered the demon realm, like they were like, and on your left, there's a statue of King Dabura. And then the guy was like, yeah, you're not gonna see the same things that are on Earth as you see here. Immediately gets a hamburger.
Yeah,
That was
that
good.
that's why it broke the immersion. I was like, well,
Yeah.
didn't you just say like 5 minutes ago that this is like a different place?
Yeah, that
Why
that was
is it why are we getting burgers at the bar?
yeah, that are just cooked up in 2 seconds. Yeah, I think the creativity of the show so far has been very lacking. Um, like I like the show, but if I think critically about it, it's like
But if I
it's like
think
I know it's the same thing as how like I feel about like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where I'm just like, God, that movie, it's really cool on the surface, but God, you think about it for 2 fucking seconds, you're in it, man. You're like, God, this is terrible. Um, yeah, I feel the same exact way about the show. Like, why couldn't they fit anybody inside the fucking ship? The ship was huge, and they made a big fucking thing about not being able to fit people inside of it. They
my
didn't
thing
stop
is
him
that
from
they're
driving like an
children.
asshole.
They're children. how could you not like pack kids into I don't
Why
know.
wouldn't you just like if you're the Demon King, why would you make them like still be able to do things? Why not make them all infants? Like so they can't stop you.
Because then we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah, whatever. Also also if your thing was like you're going there to like grab Dende back and like you wanted to stay like low so you wanted to stay low key, right? Why not grab the guy who's like a demon in Piccolo? Why not
Mm,
grab the former Demon King's child and bring him to the demon realm?
mm.
Just a
Because we need
thought.
Goku.
Just a thought. Just a
Because
single or
we need Goku.
just or think of this, you could have two storylines going at once.
Hmm?
just just a thought. Again, I don't want to think critically about the show. I want to be like, oh, nostalgia. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Like the bar fight I thought was decent.
That was pretty
I,
fun.
I thought that was like a cool like throwback to like old time like karate movies where like
Hmm.
they did like uh the what the fuck Rush Hour where it was like Jackie Chan would be like holding up pans and if someone punches the pan they're like ooh. You know like they did like that
Yeah.
type of yeah I thought that was
It
so
was
funny.
very Rush Hour esque. That was fun.
I think that that's funny. I think that that's cool. And he's like just shoving this hamburger in his mouth as he's fighting. Like it's like dude, it's funny. Like it's not this high tech like super fight that's gonna be like crazy. And that's not what I'm looking forward to the series, you know? So that's not what I'm like I already knew this series wasn't gonna be the continuation of Dragon Ball Super where there's gonna be a more I'm gonna regret these words, where there's gonna be a more in-depth story. Um but like it's just is what it is, man. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I mean, it's not a 10 out of 10, but I'm entertained. I'm actually, next week I'm gonna watch it next week because I think it's fun. I think it's a fun show.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I feel about it, especially as somebody that like isn't depth in the Dragon Ball lore and
Yeah.
isn't like a diehard like Dragon Ball fan since like birth kind of person. I'm really enjoying the show because it's fun. And I feel that like as somebody like that knows these characters on like a surface level, I don't feel like I'm losing, anything. Like I feel like I'm still getting Goku, even though he's like
Yeah.
in a different body. Like I feel like I am watching Goku. I have like the same problems with the show as you do. I think it's paced very poorly. I think we're moving very slow. But I also think like with current anime that's coming out and has come out like fairly recently, I think we're getting too used to like instant gratification with storylines and like having things progress a little too quickly. Especially with like regular TV and stuff. So it's almost like because you said it was like reminiscent of older Dragon Ball or like older TV. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's a nice kind of like on the other hand, like to play devil's advocate, I think it's a nice reset into like kind of like disawaying from the instant gratification of plot points happening like back to back to back. Um,
See,
but
the what and just like a stop point right there is like I say this in knowing that Akira Toriyama was a terrible story writer for Dragon Ball. This man was just watching WWE and was like, "Hey, what wrestler can I bring to my to my show today this week?" I don't know how he got tapings of WWE, but he did. If you if we ever watch Dragon Ball together, you I want you just to picture WWE because that's kind of what the show turns into later in the later half. Anyway, continue your point.
not SmackDown.
It is. It was literally smack. You know what? Dragon Ball has some of the coolest fights in the entire series in it, But to get to those fights, it's like an excruciatingly long process of just being like meandering through a jungle or like flying. I don't know. It's yeah. Anyway,
Okay, I don't know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just as somebody that is watching this with no experience, that's like that's how I feel about it. But I'm really enjoying it. Like I think it's super cute and like it's super different from like other shows we're watching, like Don to Don or like
yeah.
other things that are like heavily like harder action than what we've
Right.
seen so far in Dragon Ball Daima. Um, but it's super cute. I just like I need them to stop breaking the immersion
Yeah,
because
stop being just have them eat. If he would have just pulled out like a cactus hamburger, and it
yeah,
would
it
have
would have
been
been so fun.
yeah, and he like took a bite and he was like, like that would have been funny. That would have been the humor. That's the humor they're going for. They should have done something like
Yeah.
that.
I like I it's already not whimsical, but like it's already like goofy. So like play into the
Yeah,
goof. Um yeah, I will also watch the next episode and be like looking out for the immersion break.
yeah. You know what? It's whatever. Again, I'm not. I don't want to fucking sit here and try and tell you that the show needs to be a super serious thing because it doesn't need to be.
No, I just wanted
It,
I wanted to play into the goof.
yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if there's too many people making this show out to be like
It's
this
fun
super
to be
serious,
goofy
like
silly.
late.
It's fun.
Yeah, I think that's like. So I watched uh there's these other podcasters, Otaku's Anonymous that I watch, and they're talking about Dragon Ball Daima, and they're like, this story sucks. This story is like absolutely like ass. All they do is take too long to get places. All they do is like it makes no sense. And they're really thinking about this as like a critical sense of like they. I feel like they absolutely hate every moment that they're watching this show. And it's like, man, I could not like and I usually agree with a lot of things that they say, but it's like I just could not agree. Like I couldn't disagree more with how their assessment of the show. And Danny Mata, who's like the internet's favorite child when it comes to anime, it's like I don't know, man. Like he says he likes Dragon Ball, but it's like I don't know. I just don't agree with him on any of these points. He's like saying that the show is like terribly animated. He's like saying that the show is
Hmm.
like it's just like and I agree with the it being like lazy in the terms of like creativity, especially with the hamburger thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like not like Dragon Ball's fucking Dragon Ball's creativity starts and ends with its character like design
Mhm.
storyline. It's not fucking creative at all. So I don't really know
Mhm.
where the creativity comes in unless you're talking about tax too. But anyway, what were you gonna say?
Like I understand the points that they're making, especially because a lot of like I said, like a lot of the anime that's coming out right now is very fast paced. It's very action packed. Um, so like I get the criticism against that, but I think it's very nicely animated. Like I think it's like very smooth. It's very like colorful. It's very bright. And I don't
Yeah,
know if that's like how it is for like all of Dragon Ball, but like from what I'm watching right
it's
now,
not.
like it's nice and colorful and it plays into the like I wouldn't say like unseriousness, but it plays into like the fun, like the goofiness of it.
Right.
Um and I think it's okay for things to just be goofy. It's okay for things to be unserious. And I think especially because a lot of like the recent stuff that's come out in the Dragon Ball like universe has been super serious. There's an expectation there that like it has to like but you know what I mean? Like
No, I get what you're saying.
yeah, like there's an expectation there that it's going to be like
See,
have more
there's
depth
not
than that.
See, there's not an expectation of it to be super serious. There's an expectation of it to be like they should just be fighting.
That's what
That's
I mean. Like for
yeah,
there to
like
be like
there's
more like not complexity but more like action or more depth in that sense, if that makes
it's just
sense.
like and I mean I maybe I just sound like a fucking boomer, but it's like it just shows people haven't watched like any anime that hasn't came out in the last 10 years. And it's like, dude, watch the first Full Metal Alchemist. I tried watching the first like
The first Full Metal
10.
is so goofy.
Yeah, well, it's not like goofy. It's like the pacing is all fucking over the place. Like
Pacing sucks.
OG Naruto is terrible. Like the first 25 episodes do like work pretty well, but after the first 25, it's like, what the fuck is happening here? Um, and then you got, I mean, there's, I could just keep going on and on and on. It doesn't fucking matter. But like Hunter x Hunter's first, like I watched the original OG Hunter x Hunter, and yeah, that's fucking all over the place. But anyway, my point being is that like not saying that you need to watch those things to understand. Like you guys can't comprehend this cinematic masterpiece that's Dragon Ball Daima.
Stop
It's no.
gatekeeping the goofiness.
It's just, dude, just fucking. You don't gotta take it so fucking
Yeah, like
seriously.
it's
Honestly,
okay. It's okay to be goofy. Like I know that
if you,
the show that's coming to my mind is an example. I know they're very different shows that I'm about to say.
yeah,
And I know one of them has a very different like
I'm on the
humor
edge of my
type
seat.
humor type than the other one, but like I think of my dear friend Nokotan. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
supposed to be goofy, you know, that's not supposed to be serious, but it's like not to say that there are like semi-serious things that they're talking about
yeah.
in the show, but it's
It's
still
the
meant to be,
expectations.
yeah, it's slapstick. It's like supposed to be like kind of funny. This is supposed to be kind of funny, albeit like different humor types. But like my point being that it's okay for things to just be standalone,
That's
kind of
why
fun,
like
kind of goofy.
I that's why like I like listening to different and like media that come that talk about like this show because it's like I listen to Geekdom 101 who's like the biggest Dragon Ball like YouTuber, well one of them. And I've always really go to his opinions for certain things because I feel like he gets a more like ground because he is such a dirty grind ball who reads all the manga and all the like he's in it. He's in the forums. He's in the insider. He is just he's a
Dirty
mole.
grime ball is an insane
I don't know.
accusation.
I can't explain it any other way that he's just like if you need some information, you go to him. You know what I mean? Like he's the inside man.
He's the penguin. Are you calling him
Yeah.
the
He's the
penguin?
penguin. He's just the inside dude. But
Not
like,
the
man,
penguin.
but man, he just gives some good. But anyway, his opinions on the show, I really agree with. No, he gives great explanations of like why this show um is really good for like Dragon Ball fans and how like you could totally see all of Akira Toriyama's like fingerprints on every single part of the show. And while like again, it's not the most creative show in the fucking world, it's really cool if you're like an Akira Toriyama
No
like
more hamburgers.
yeah, if it's like if you're an Akira Toriyama like fucking, enthusiast like he is, it's like the show is so good. And I don't think it's so good. I think that it's a solid like 7.5 out of 10 so far.
It's okay.
But like I'm excited to see like where it goes just to so we can talk about it, so we can see what we can laugh at each episode and like and maybe they'll have some cool fights. Who fucking knows? We don't know yet. Um do you have any other thoughts on it?
I think we got like kind of like a little taste of like the fights because I really liked the bar
Oh
fight.
yeah, that was
That was
yeah,
really
that
fun.
that yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying, like Dragon Ball
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
That's a Dragon Ball fight. I'm talking like once we get to like Dragon Ball Super Z fights that are like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, whatever. But yeah, do you have any other thoughts on it?
Nope.
Okay, so that's the end of this one. So just leave a like, subscribe, comment below. What do you guys think about the Dragon Ball Diamond? You like it? You don't like it? Let us know below. And while you're down there, subscribe to the page.